Namaskaram to all of you. Namaskaram is a Sanskrit word where na means no, me means me, na ma means I am not there. Okay? So it means I am not there, and generally people in the audience also respond saying Namaskaram. That means you are also saying you are not there. It means there is no difference. I request that I am one among you. No difference between me and you. And when you say Namaskaram, that means you also agree that you take me as part of you. It so happened maybe I am standing here to talk to you, but it doesn't make a difference. So the topic you have selected for today's discussion is on mind management. True? Mind management. I'm a poet and also a Eastern philosophy speaker. I don't know how medical doctors identify mind. Even a casual discussion, people keep describing mind. And if you ask where is your mind, they are confused to show, where to show, whether here or somebody say the mind is somewhere here. And when people say that did you learn something, they will say yes, we by hearted. That means the learning happens in the heart. People are confused whether the mind is in the heart. And some people say that I love you. If you want to show that, they draw the heart as the symbol. Therefore, the mind in Sanskrit is called manas. So, people show manas in terms of heart. So, it's a big confusion whether your mind, manas, is in the brain or in the heart. And generally we say I am in pain. The pain happens in manas, not in the buddhi. Buddhi is thought process happens in the buddhi. The desire happens in the manas, mind. But in English terminology, the mind, either in the buddhi or the manas, it's all almost the same. But whereas in Sanskrit we have two words, one is buddhi, that's an act of brain, and manas, we don't know where it acts. When somebody gets a cut, he gets pain, and the pain is here. So that means there is something which can feel on each part of your cell. And that cell which has atoms at the core inner level, nucleus and electrons and protons, and therefore around the nucleus there are electrons moving around. That means your nucleus is a matter, electron is something which is another matter which moves around. The question generally people ask in philosophy is, why do they go around it? And the answer given in Indian philosophy is Yada Pinde Tada Brahmande. The Brahmanda is the universe, space, where you have got sun and lot of planets, many suns and many planets around it, and it has got specific orbit. And the question is, why the planets go around this? What is the energy which it has? And what is the consciousness which it has? And why it's revolving like this? The same answer is given when you look at the atom as a nucleus around which the electron goes. Olden days when people don't have high zoom telescope or high zoom microscope, both are scope. If somebody has to explain how an atom looks like, people used to say, look at the sky. You have got few stars around, few planets around. Same way, when you look through that, you will see a lot of vacuum and nothing is there. nothingness, and around which the electron moves. That means you need more free space. So that means when I zoom on my body, you will see a lot of free space, vacuum. That means matter is very less, but the space which has nothingness is much more. Then how do the cells connected, atoms connected, and then how the structure of a human body is maintained as it is? There are a lot of vacuum only. So how do they connect? The time your prana goes, your life goes, life is called prana. The life goes, it starts degenerating. It starts getting separated. That means life is something which connects. And the life is there for the whole body, and also you have on each part of your body. And that life we call it as consciousness, or chit, chaitanyam, tejas, life force, energy, prana. And what paints is that consciousness, that heart, that manas which you have on each cell. And therefore you can't separate the body and the manas. Or in newer terminology we say manas is the software and the body is the machine which you have, and whereas your brain could be the archival media or the disk where all the data are stored. And all your indriyas, the eye, ear, nose, tongue and skin, this is called indriya, which interact with the outside world. So this is the input-output device on a computer. The time our eyes are open, we keep seeing things, whether you want or not. It takes pictures. No go. You have taken my picture by now. I am useless to you, but still you have taken my picture. And where does it go? It do not go to the brain first. It's being picked up by the software. In a computer, whenever you type in something, the software picks up first. It's in the RAM. It's in your temporary memory. Maybe after some time you keep it in your manas for some time and then packs up and then put it in the brain. By mistake you meet me sometime later somewhere, automatically again the picture will come in your eyes and you will take the old picture and then match together and say, oh, this is the same man. And where does this happen? It does not happen in the brain. We say it happens in the manas, because it's the software which does this matching and say, oh, this man is this. Therefore, traditionally in our philosophy and further to that in the Veda, Veda means knowledge in India, the Vedic knowledge, and therefore the health science which is associated with Veda, which is called Ayurveda, the Veda knowledge on Ayur, that means on life, describes manas, the mind in English term, but there is some confusion when I say mind, but the manas part of it, the consciousness part of it, the software part of the body, which is dealt along with the body, which is the hardware part, together. And the traditional guru of Ayurveda, Charaka, says, Sharira manaso yoga paraspara manuvrajet adhara adheya bhavena taptajya khadayoriva. The body and the mind are so related like a vessel and an oil. That's the meaning of the sloka. If you have got a cold vessel and put hot oil inside that, the vessel also gets heated up. So similarly, if your manas, mind, gets agitated, your body will reflect. And if your body has some problem, you will have a mental problem also. If you love to listen to my lecture, if you have slight cold or cough or headache or some part of your body is aching, you will not have no concentration. Concentration is the act of desire or manas. You love to, but your body do not permit. The other way, assume you believe the lecture is so good and you love it too much. If you have headache, you will forget about the headache, and after the lecture, the headache will come back. That means your body and manas can live together. And I know when you get worry is not a disease. It's a feeling of the manas. You are in a hurry. This is also a feeling. You are in a hurry. That's a feeling which you have. When you are in worry or hurry, definitely the chemistry in the body changes. Adrenaline start developing. You will end up into ulcer, who have more worry, more tension. All these are related. So your body chemistry changes as your manas changes. When you get angry, the color of the face also will change. The eyebrows goes up and down, your stomach start burning. Your breathing rate will change. The normal breathing could be 15 to 18 times a minute, 10 to 12. We believe it's 15 times people generally breathe. 10 to 12 is a fantastic breathing. But when you get angry, when you are in worry, I used to say when you are in worry, when you are in hurry, when you eat more curry. Yeah. So what happens is your breathing rate will change and it becomes 40. That's why when somebody gets angry, we say that don't bark like a dog. Because dog breathes 40 times per minute. So your behavior also will become almost like a dog. The crocodile lives for 300 years just because it breathes only 3 times. So in Bharatiya Shastram we say you want to control your mind. You don't have to get worried. You can extend your life. The traditional lifespan of lifespan used to be 120 years. But today the average is 60, 67. I don't know how much is it. 70, yeah. So we lost 50 years. Why did we lose 50 years? We have a good medical system, maintain the body perfect. But manas is the biggest problem. So your breathing rate changes as you get worried, and everybody is worried. So how do you control this? When your manas is upset, it will ask the body to change the breathing rate. And if the body says, no, I am not going to give you that, what will happen? Either manas have to keep quiet or body has to revolt. Therefore, most of the time, the manas and the body, if they are not trained properly to react to situations, it could end up in diseases. So if you know how to control your breathing, most of your manas can be controlled. The mind control is well associated with the breathing practice which people have. That's why pranayama. Yama means distance. Prana means breathe in and breathe out. The distance between the breathe in and breathe out, you have to increase it. That means reduce your frequency or make your breathing less number of times. Don't become breathless. Less breathing is good. So make less breathing so that you can control your manas. So in pranayama, we take the normal person's breathing rate to less than 15. That means when he gets irritated, when he is in worry, his breathing rate will be good, and then sufficient oxygen is provided, and therefore the chemical reactions happens in the body will be normal. You will never become upset. So through body you can control the manas. When you are in worry or hurry, one immediate thing could be to control your breathing. But if you are not practiced a good breathing practice, you cannot do it at the time of crisis. So it's a part of life. Learning breathing exercise is a part of life, so that when some eventuality comes, you will be able to control it. Similarly, when we believe that all the indriyas and whole body is represented on your hand itself. If you take a Xerox machine and keep your hand like this on the Xerox machine and take a Xerox, you can see this part of the body almost looks like your head. And these two fingers looks like your legs, and these two will look like your hands. Take a Xerox and try that. And you take a ratio between this part to this part, exactly you will get the aspect ratio of your body. And therefore the hand represents your body. In acupressure, we treat people. When you get tension, most of the people will do like this. When you are in worry, automatically you start rubbing your fingers like this and you get cool. Why? Because when you are in tension, when you want to think, you automatically keep your hand like this. Why do you keep your hands on the head when you want to think? That's the way you can think more. Does it make thinking more? The answer is yes. In traditional Indian style, I have got an institution called Shiksha, in which the symbol of Shiksha is given like this. This is called Jnana Mudra. This mudra is called Jnana Mudra, knowledge symbol. That's because this is my head and this is my hand, and when I put this together, it's as good as putting my hands on my head. And all traditional rishis, traditional saints in India, while praying, while doing their prayers, they keep their hands like this. So that means if you want to think more, this could be the best mudra which you have. And this mudra is very powerful to think, learn and teach. That's why automatically when I chant mantra, unknowingly my hands will go like this. Because that's how I learned my chantings. So this mudra is very, very powerful. Learning and teaching mudra is this. That's why I have put this mudra as a symbol on my activity, which is called under Shiksha. Shiksha means learning and teaching. That's the activity which I am doing now. And now, if I have got a stomach problem, these two are legs, this is my stomach. I can just press here and then feel that I am doing a massage on my stomach. Okay? Because we believe all the nervous system which you have in your energy systems which you have in your hand is connected to the whole body. Because this is your head and this is your hands, therefore shoulder is here, stomach is here, this represents the body. So if you have to do an acupressure on some disease which you have in your stomach, you can only rub here. If you have a knee problem, this is where I will press. If you have a headache, you can rub here and feel that you can see the vibrations in your head.
Sorry, right or left?
Right and left both works together. And it's true, it also works with your feet. It's also there in your feet. Traditionally, we have temples in India. When we take circumambulation around that, the path is never a smooth surface. They keep rough surfaces. Even if you construct a temple where a lot of sand is there, maybe a sand is a nice place to walk around, they keep sharp stones as the pathway. And they are supposed to take circumambulation, go around it, removing the chappal. So when they walk, it's a natural acupressure which is applied. It's to energize the people. And this part of your body represents heart. Okay? So if you hold who is sitting beside you, just hold the hand. Come. Yeah. If you just hold who is sitting beside you, just hold your hands like this. Close your eyes and feel the heartbeat. You can do for both hands. If somebody is sitting on the other side, you can give the other hand. Feel the heartbeat, you can feel it much better. Close your eyes and concentrate on the heartbeat. You can get the heartbeat of the person. You can? It's very simple. But you don't get that sort of feeling when you put your hand to some other place. If somebody is in deep pain, what we do is hold them like this and tell them, I am with you. I am in your heart. And they feel much stronger. There are people who have got a lot of problems in public speaking, singing, they get worried, tension, they have every skill. But they come to the stage, they don't have communication skill. I am a person who is training on communication skill for last 10 years. My students are more than 6 lakhs. Every week I meet 200 students. So when I give lectures on communication skill, the biggest problem is not the idea. They have sufficient idea. It's not the language which matters. They have good language, but they have the worry inside. How do you treat them for these worries? No way. So what we do is, we give them energy through holding hands like this and say that I am inside you. Assume you are worried on going to some place. You are worried of driving. And somebody who is sitting beside you says that I am there with you, you drive. What is that you are improving? It's the confidence. And that confidence can be either through your tongue, or where is that confidence comes or non-confidence happens. It's in the manas. It's all your feeling. Assume that you feel cold. It's only a feeling. If you feel no cold, no cold. If you feel hot, no hot. It's as simple as that. Is your body that good in getting so well adjusted to the situations? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. If you feel no cold, you can say no cold. You see, in our Himalayas, which is the coldest season or the hot season, also it's 5 degree. Night will be minus 47 degree. There are people who are staying there, the saints, rishis. They don't wear a down jacket, no gloves, no shoes. They have only a small cloth which is around their waist, nothing else. The top is open. They are also manufactured from the same factory where we are all got manufactured. They have not been gifted extra capability to stay there. But just they feel that they are not feeling cold and they are able to stay there. And traditionally, when we take bath, we take water and then pour it on the body. Before pouring, we just check the temperature of the water. We just keep your hands inside and then say, oh, it's too hot. And invariably, everybody puts the hand again there and says it's not that hot. So within a fraction of a second, how the temperature of the water changes. It's not the temperature of the water which is changing. It's the body temperature that changes. So your body gets adjusted to the temperature very fast. Acclimatization is very easy. You go to some place, you will feel, okay, it's good. Maybe you feel uncomfortable if you feel uncomfortable. It's a feeling. If you feel comfortable, you feel comfortable. You can adjust your body temperature to the environment. We give some meditation. We have got a hot chamber meditation where we put people at high temperature. And if you practice for few days, they feel comfortable in that temperature and get into a meditation. So this temperature change, we can adjust it and the body adjusts very fast. When we feel, in Delhi, if you say the 4 degree is the temperature in the winter, and in summer it's 40 degree temperature. How the body is able to take it? Assume you don't inform your body, all on a sudden the temperature varies, you fall sick. That means you are not prepared to accept. What is this preparation? That's an activity of the mind. So you prepare yourself, then you are ready. So can you prepare yourself for such a change in the body through the manas whenever you want? Then you can take any sort of stress on you, any sort of strain on you. Assume you are into a job which you love it. Your body will not be tired. But assume you are into a job which you don't like. Few minutes you will become tired. That means your liking and non-liking determines the body capacity. And the practice which you have will tell you whether you can do some job or you can't do that job. The manas is what is controlling your body for an action or denying an action. So how can you change this manas for such purposes? That part is what we term as reaching into a meditative level. Every activity has to be a meditative activity. Meditation, which reaching into meditation is a state where you do the job, but your brain will not work. You do the job with all that happens in the manas. Generally we believe knowledge is in the brain, and when you do some activity, the brain is involved. If you have got an electroencephalograph, please connect it to my brain and you will see no vibrations now. Because when I give lecture, my brain is not used. It comes from the manas. I am not thinking, I am not taxing my brain for giving lectures. It has been tested many times. The reason is, we don't have to use our brain for using the knowledge. The knowledge is kept in the manas, and keeping in the manas and acting is what is done with interest. If you don't have interest, you will tax your brain. Whatever is of your interest, you will keep in the manas. A person who has to drive home, he don't think whether to take left turn, right turn, which road is to be driven, and he just drives and he reaches that. He don't have to think whether clutch, where is clutch, brake, accelerator, which gear. He just drives, and you call him as an expert driver. But if you are a new driver, you will start thinking, therefore your brain starts working and you will be taxing yourself and you feel tired faster. When you cook, people don't have to think how much salt is to be put. It just puts and it will be exact. But if you are a new cook, you will have to think, measure. When I see a new person, I will have to think where I have seen him. But when you see maybe your spouse or mother or kids, you are not thinking whether, oh, this is my mother. It automatically happens. How the image processing happens? Take the image and put the old image and recognize and say, this is my mother. How does it happen? Do you think? You don't have to use your brain because your mother is in your manas. It's in the software RAM. You are not using your ROM. It's ready, accessible. So if you become so casual, so accidental, so simple, your reference system to the manas becomes very simple and your activity will become like that. Can you make every activity to that level without experiencing with long practices? That's a question being asked. The answer is yes. How do you do it? You get into a meditative level and whatever there in your buddhi can be transmitted to your manas without taxing your brain. So that communication becomes much faster. from the brain to manas. Otherwise it has to go search, refer, and that's why you become tired. Every subject learning, can you make it into that level? If you can, you will not take much time to understand things. The biggest problem the students have, and many people come to me on consultation, is the students have no concentration. When they open the book, their concentration goes somewhere else. They may be studying some subject. You close the book and ask which subject you are reading. They will not be able to say because the mind is not there. But when you see a movie, everybody has full concentration. There is no problem. You don't say that I am not able to concentrate in the movie. They have full concentration. When you see a movie, in 1 second, 100 pictures are coming. In a movie, it's a movie, 100 pictures come in 1 second. That means in a minute, you have 6,000 pictures coming in. And in an hour, you have 360,000 pictures coming in. A normal duration of a movie is 2 hours. That means you have 720,000 pictures coming in front of you in 2 hours. Take one picture from that, and then you make either a poster or a CD cover and show which picture is this. Oh, you will be able to recollect and say this is from this movie. How much time you are watching it? It's 1/100th of a second. That's a time when it was in front of you. That means if it just flashes in front of you in 1/100th of a second and 720,000 or more number of pictures in 2 hours, you are able to by heart it, not by brain it. You are putting that in your heart, not in the brain. Therefore, you can recollect it very fast. If you have interest, then your concentration increases. You can learn anything better if you have interest. What is this interest? That's a feeling which you have. So the desire and the feeling which you have in the manas, that determines your activity both in brain and the whole body. You can become strong, you can work with interest, then you will never be tired. You want to learn and keep it in your brain for longer time, learn with interest. Therefore, this is the crux of problem. You can make your manas more active for absorbing and learning as much as you can. For working in a meditative level where you have full interest and your concentration becomes large. It's like you have got sun energy everywhere. You keep a convex lens and you can focus it and you can burn something. That means the energy can be focused to somewhere and get the energy exaggerated or maybe increase the intensity to the highest level. Can we concentrate our manas, which has got this absorptivity, to focus somewhere and then absorb or use it for a specific purpose? The answer is yes. That process is called meditation, where we have lot of steps. The first step is called yama, where you must have a non-violent mood. You should never get angry. That's the first step. Don't get angry on any situations, because we believe getting angry is the worst part of a human activity, and people get angry because they are weak. A strong person never gets angry. The manas have to be very strong, and you should never have dukkham, sadness. And don't jump when you get some happiness also. Control all your feelings to a level. That's the first level which has to be done. Dukkheshu anudignamana sukheshu vigataspruha Veda raga bhaya krodha sthidadir muniruchyate. All the feelings have to be controlled. It's not that you don't have feelings. You can have it, but don't allow it to have a sine curve with less of wavelength and more of frequency. Increase the wavelength and reduce the frequency so that it becomes smooth. You will be able to adjust with many people. Can we do that? That's the question. If you can, you are in the first level of meditation. And you have to run through 8 steps. And third step is what is called the physical exercise, yogasana, where your body also have to get fit for accepting most of the activities. If your body cannot accept, you can't do anything. So we have lot of asanas in which sitting posture and the resting posture, flexing your body in all the sides where you want. Make it so smooth with all the activities, the body can be moved in any direction you want. And therefore, you can focus your energy as different hubs in different places. We have got energy on all the cells, but you can make it to focus into few places. It's like when you have got a system to connect to another system, we have got what is called a connector. So similarly, we believe in our body, we have got a lot of connectors. And all the energy starts going there, from there it gets connected. That's called chakras. So we have got an Ajna chakra here. Every hypnotist concentrates on this Ajna chakra to hypnotize people. So we can influence a person or grab energy or support energy looking at the place where the eye and the nose is joining at this place. So this is one of the chakra which is called Ajna chakra. You want to look into somebody and influence them, the best way is to look at this place. When you discuss with someone, if you look at them on that place, they will not be able to disagree with you in most of the counts. That's why hypnotists give suggestions to people picking up from there. As a hypnotist, I am a hypnotist. So we pick up people from this place, we'll pick them up, and then we can talk to the prana or the manas outside their body. So the control comes to the hypnotist. That's how we give suggestions. So this part is the Ajna chakra. Similarly, we have got different chakras. The solar plexus is one chakra which you have on the heart chakra. This concentrated chakras gets more concentrated, more densified when you reach into a energy balance in your body. Therefore, all the indriyas will work, but indriyas will start functioning only through these junctions. It's not spread out. And if you take the picture of the energy source which we have around us, and we believe we have got different layers of aura, life force energy. The body what you see, around that you will see the prana. We believe that the constitution of the body is like this. Just after the body you have got the astral body, and that body is the prana. The energy, the life is just outside that, it's a cover. So this body is called Annamaya Kosham. Kosham means cell. The whole body is one cell. Annamaya Kosham. Just outside is called Pranamaya Kosham. You have got a life outside that. Just outside that is the Manonmaya Kosham, Manas. Just outside is the Vijnanamaya Kosham, the knowledge. And outside is that the Anandamaya Kosham, the happiness. All together is called aura. Life or aura is this. The simplest way people explain this, when somebody moves, you will be able to feel the aura. You can see the aura. You can touch the aura. You can give aura, take aura. Balance your aura. Most of the healing mechanisms are based on this basic principle of aura. Either Reiki or pranic healing or different healing practices. It only means around you, you have got an electromagnetic energy, because this is an energy system around which you have got a spur of an electromagnetic energy which has got a specific vibration slightly different from the environment. So can you make this energy system balanced, compressed, focused, and concentrate it in few places. That's one part of the job in the meditation process. Therefore, your indriyas will get focused, and that focusing is what's happening. So when somebody comes and touches you, you will not even know, because you have focused or removed your concentration from the indriya to this place. Dharana, dhyanam. At that level, you can go into a dhyanam. This is the 7th level. I've just skipped all of the other levels. Asana and pranayama, which I've explained, the breathing practices is one, and the exercise is another one, and then taking in the indriyas into that concentrated points. And what you do is swallow all the concentrated point and get into only one place, that's called Ajna Chakra. And once you do that and take you away from you, therefore your body gets separated and your Atma gets separated. The body and the Atma get separated only when people die. Therefore, while living, you are dying. That's why it is called a Samadhi. Samadhi means death. So meditation in Sanskrit means death. That means your all activity in your body is arrested. It's like a deep sleep, but without consciousness also being non-active. When you are in sleep, you can't control your consciousness activity. That's why people say dream. And many things happens inside between your manas, buddhi and the atma, the actual soul, energy, concentration. Now if you can move this out, what you are trying to do is take the manas and the atma together, and no logic for that, no buddhi for that, no data sets for that. It is outside this. Move that, and therefore all your activity, if you have this practice of doing, all the activity which you do can be done in the samadhi level. That means your brain is not functioning, your indriyas are not concerned. I may be seeing, but I am not seeing. This happens to all of you. It's not a big exercise to practice. I'm sure when I am standing here, you all looked at me, and my picture was inside you. After some time, when I am talking, your eyes are open. You are seeing me, but you are not seeing me. Because you are not taking my picture, no process happens. Your whole concentration was onto the ear. You are only listening. Your eyes are open, you are seeing me, but your brain is not functioning as seeing me. Now when I said you are seeing me, your concentration from ear came back to eyes, and your hearing capability reduced, and you started seeing me more. Until now, what happened was, the first few moments you saw me, but then were listening to my lecture. Therefore your concentration from your eyes got shifted to ear, and you were only listening to me, and you were not seeing me. Now when I said you are seeing me, you are again shifting the concentration. Therefore whatever I said in the middle, you will have to think, oh, what he said. Otherwise it was so simple. That means you can shift your concentration from your eyes to ear and back. And what is this happening when we are seeing? It's a consciousness in your cell in your eyes which is seeing. Otherwise the cell as it is have no eye to see. The Upanishad says, Ena chakshushana pashyanti ena chakshumshi pashyatihi. Every indriya is explained like this. The cell in your eye have no seeing capacity, but no seeing ability, but it is the consciousness of the eye which is making you to see. Like when I am at home, I take the role of a husband or a father. When I am with my mother, I take the role of a son. When I am speaking here, I take the role of a lecturer. But when I am sitting the other side, I take the role of a student. Similarly, every cell in our body, when it is kept at the eye, it has got ability to work for seeing. If you put it somewhere else, it has got a different ability. That consciousness is different from the matter. And that consciousness can be taken shifted, reassigned, all these possibilities we have. If you do it with your knowledge, with your concentrated, continuous effort, and that effort of doing is called meditation. So that gets attained. And as I just now said, we unknowingly do it. If you have more concentration, your concentration goes in hearing. You can unknowingly do it. Can you do it with a practice on all activities which we do, which is of your liking or not liking? So what happens is, if somebody asks you, do you like something? I'll say, I don't mind. Somebody asks you, do you like it? Yeah, okay. Do you want this? Yes, I can. But if you don't get, no problem. Can you have this attached and detachment in life so that you will not become sad or happy? All the feelings which we have called sadness or happiness is because your attachment and a detachment. So when you reach into a meditative level, your attachment and detachment goes. It's not that you don't have a love, not that you don't have a desire, but you are able to put into control. And that controlling is taking the manas to the Atma level, and Atma is the prana, where it have no desire. And all your activity will be done with the Atma, unconditional, non-desire state of manas. So that's what is being attained by the meditation process. So we teach meditation on these grounds. It's just few days of practice for some people. Maybe for some people in the whole life, if they do also, they will not be able to attain. Maybe they will be able to attain into the area where they have interest, but cannot do it in some activities. Maybe they can do it with full concentration and attain the full benefit for some time, but not all the activities which they are doing. So this is the subject which I thought I will introduce to you, probably if you are not introduced so far. Okay, and if you have some questions, we will open it up for discussion now. So I spoke to you 47 minutes now. Okay, you have some questions, probably I'll be able to answer it, and love getting questions in this subject.
Can I just summarize or explain that Indriya to Chakra once more?
Indriya to Chakra. See, what happens is, I said we have consciousness everywhere. For every cell we have a consciousness. But what we do is, when I am speaking to you, I am also showing my finger some signals. How does my hand movement is also associated with my speaking? I am seeing somewhere, and automatically my Indriya of listening also goes there. What is that is controlling these two together? How does they interact each other? Is it goes to the brain, and the brain cells asking me to move my hand like this? There is a thinking process which makes me to talk. Does it happen through an internal wiring, or does it happen through some other mechanism? The answer is, you have got hubs like this: Ajna Chakra, Hridaya Chakra, Root Chakra, and there are some hubs here. And therefore what happens is, it goes and communicates to that, and that communication communicates to the hand, not through the body but externally. That happens through the aura. Like you have got telecommunication masts. Your cell phone rings because there is a hub, from there the ring comes. Correct? And how does it get? It gets from somewhere else. So these telecommunication masts are the concentrated chakras which we have in our body. So it could get into some different antennas here, and this antenna communicates to this, and it tells the cell, okay, you move your hands. It's not through the internal body, but through the external aura. Therefore that is faster, and you are able to react very fast. It's not from the brain. See, for example, assume you are walking and you are almost slipping. Before slipping itself, if you don't have to fall, but this part of the body may get a pain, as if you have already fallen and these muscles are working for that. How does the reaction happens instantaneously on your body? Answer is, your consciousness is much more aware of what is going to happen, and your body gets ready, and the communication happens not through the brain. You don't have to think, oh, I am falling, therefore I have to do it. Automatically it happens, and it happens through outside your body, which is called an aura. So you can see traditional Ayurveda textbook with a Jivanadi internally and externally also. And these Jivanadis are called the chakras today. And you can see when somebody sits close in the crossed position and then do in the japa position, these Jivanadis are with less distance from one to another one. Therefore it becomes a closed network. Okay, so concentration becomes much better, and you are able to communicate to all part of your body much better. That's why most of the rishis sit in the minimum body volume posture, that is called the asanas. Okay, so this is where it's like a hub, it's like a telecommunication mast, where each indriya will be able to transmit to the other indriya through the hub only. So thank you, Sini, for giving this opportunity to come and speak to you, and I should thank Ajit for connecting both of us. Thank you, thanks a lot. Bye.